Good morning, my name is Uriel, and today I want to talk to y'all about video games, specifically some of the negative criticisms that come with video games. I'm going to try to tell y'all about the Entertainment Software's Ratings Board, some of the benefits that can come from video gaming, as well as how I think video games offer creativity and an outlet for people that participate. So first, the Electronic Software Ratings Board is it's a classifications board similar to how movies would receive ratings. So with movies you get G, PG, PG-13, rated R, and video games have a very similar rating system. So I brought a couple examples. I don't know if y'all can see, it's a little small, but each game, before they can be put on store shelves in the United States, they have to go through the ESRB and they receive a classification. So this would be a rated E for everyone, similar to a G for general audiences, meaning this game could be enjoyed by people of all ages. After that, we get the everyone 10 and up. Anyone that is above 10 years old should be able to enjoy this game. Next, we have rated T for teen, similar to PG-13 for movies. And I forgot to mention that on the back of every game, it tells you what the game includes that has caused it to achieve this certain rating. So this game actually teaches you how to play guitar. You can plug in any electric guitar to your system and it'll catch the chords, the keys you play. And on the back I can see that it got a T because of some of the lyrics in the songs and mild cartoon violence. And lastly, here we have the M. I brought this game called Grand Theft Auto, very notorious, very controversial game. And this one is like the flagship game that's constantly picked at for being too violent. But if you look at the back, it actually tells you beforehand, before you purchase a game, some of the things that cause it to get this rating, such as intense violence, mature humor, strong language, all of that. So when people say that video games are too violent, I don't really understand because it's clearly labeled on the back. And I definitely don't agree that any child should be playing a game like this. But there are certain steps that you can take in order to educate yourself on, in order to prevent people that shouldn't be playing these games from getting their hands on them. Next, I want to talk about some of the benefits that come from playing video games. Number one, and the one I relate to the most, is stress relief. Whenever you're going through a tough week at work or school, you can always come home and enjoy some video games, unwind, relax a little bit. Next is improved memory. Certain games like puzzle games, strategy games, games like Tetris, I'm sure y'all have heard of, or Bejeweled. They incorporate game mechanics, button configuration, patterns, so you start picking these things up more clearly and more efficiently. After that, we have visual spatial skills. This is the ability to detect the amount of space between certain objects, whether they're standing still or moving. And I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but it comes into play in your life every day, whether it be driving to school or walking in the hallway of a crowded walking in a crowded hallway, getting from point A to point B with being able to tell the distances around you, near and far. After that, we have improved response time and quicker task performance. They actually did a study involving dyslexic children. They introduced them to a little game called Super Mario Brothers. It's a platforming game. And they noticed that after a couple hours a week and after weeks, they noticed that their reading actually, it got faster and more efficient after prolonged, when they started using the games. We have next strategic planning, especially in multiplayer competitive game modes. Like you'll have an attacking side, an offensive side, and a defensive side. And the defensive side is holding an objective. The offensive side, you have to try to reach the objective. And these are things that come into play in real life, like sports. After that, we have social skill development. Now it's easier than ever with the internet to interact with people across the city or across the world within these games and get to meet people and make friends and create teams and just make memories. And this is really cool because my brother is actually autistic and he has a hard time having conversations with people in real face-to-face. He gets nervous, anxiety, he's not relaxed. But I noticed that whenever he plays video games, since it's not face-to-face confrontation, he's a little more at ease and he's able to communicate more effectively. And he can then bring those skills that he practices on the video game world into the real life and help him further develop his communication skills. Next, we have a teamwork focus. A lot of teams involve teamwork, and it's always good to learn how to cooperate and work with others because that's something you're going to be doing in life forever. Lastly, it provides an environment for competition and challenge. I personally am a competitive person. I like playing video games and seeing if I'm better or how I stack up against my friends or the rest of the world. And then I'm going to talk about the creativity that video games offer and the outlet it can be for people. Now, there's plenty of games out there that allow you to create your own characters, your own world, your own story. Basically, you could choose what you want the player to do or what you want yourself to do. And it gives children, especially with a game like Minecraft, is really taking off. It just basically, you have a sandbox to play with. You create what you want to create, play the game how you want to play it. There's no restrictions, no boundaries, just your imagination. And in closing, I hope that I've helped y'all see some of the positives that can be associated with video gaming. And I just want to clarify, I'm not saying if you don't play video games that you suck at life, or if you play video games that if you play even more, you're going to be better. But I'm just saying, just play in moderation and just be aware of the ESRB whenever you're purchasing gifts for relatives or anyone. And just inform others around you. That way we can prevent a game like this from getting into the wrong hands. Thank you.